Hello. Good evening, boys and girls. Good evening to everyone. So, tonight, oh, I had the wrong one. I had the stream was stopping instead of the stream was starting. Okay. Sorry for that. But anyway, the stream is going to start very, very soon. Just waiting some people to connect. It's always nicer to have someone with me while I develop. Meanwhile, I'm posting the usual advertising on Facebook, on Twitter, in the different Discord channels. If you go to our website, by the way, you can connect to our Discord channel. So this one is stream 180. Wow, 180 is a lot. If you consider that most of the stream are lasting about 3 hours, it's sometimes even more, sometimes even 4. It's like 600 hours of of streaming, which is great. I think we have to do something for the 200 one, but 180 is already kind of an achievement. So today we're going to look at the speech bubbles part 2. Why I call it part 2? Let me also update Twitch, because on Twitch I think this still has the old name. Yeah, it looks like I'm not changing it since some time. Well, since 2 streams actually. Okay, I changed it. Hello, Tua. Hello, Ioannis. How are you? So, I think we can start. Basically, I really need to thank Gion because it helped me a lot. We were struggling a bit on the speech bubbles, and actually he sent me a sample, an example, where actually I could he showed me where was my mistake. Basically, my mistake was a very simple mistake, and this Y was not working properly. So I arrived, up to the point where I had my speech bubble made of a 3x3 grid, and up to there it was okay, it was good. So up to that point everything was okay. Win speech bubble, what is it? Win bubbles should be here, right? Because it's not renamed. Why is W bubble widget? I think I renamed it to win. Should be win bubble widget. Okay. So my mistake was that, you see, I already split our speech bubble into a 3x3 grid. So I arrived there, and also I arrived to the point where I was asking the middle one to wrap properly. But my mistake was that when you ask to wrap the text, right, which is this setting here, yes, here, you have two settings. No, maybe it's too small for you. I can bring it. I can zoom it for you a bit so you can see it. But yeah, so wow, that's big. So if you are, if you want, to auto wrap, but you want to auto wrap only at a specific size, so that, for example, here I have 500 as the 500 as the size I want as the maximum before wrapping. You should not flag this one. Okay, so my mistake was that I was flagging auto wrap text and also wrap text at together, and for some reason these two are messing up, right? So that was the main mistake. It was really the main mistake, and that's why we were not able to see it properly. And so it was changing. I also created a post on. I also created a post, here on the forums, to explain my issue. My issue was exactly this one. So my issue was that the first time I was wrapping, it was doing it okay, and then I changed it to another text, and then I was wrapping it again. And the second time was messing up. So, and the only reason you see here at the top that I had this auto wrap text selected, and I didn't realize it, right? So I think it's good anyway. So at least I discovered why. So I posted here the answer and saying that that was the mistake. So what I want to do now is basically to integrate this example into the main game. And actually, I already went pretty far on it because I had to change one of the basic messages that we had in the game, which is the PS chat message. Because the PS chat message here in messages.h was taking a number of parameters, but the actor was actually just an ID because it was taken from the old code. While now what we want to have the real PS character, right? And so I passed here the real PS character into the message. Then I changed everywhere in the code. There are many places in the code where we were passing only the ID, so I already changed it, so that's done. And now the point is that in my blueprints, then I can finally see this one. So what I did, I set up on my character, right? A speech bubble, so a widget which is called speech bubble, which is associated to the character, and in particular to PS character, which is the superclass of all the other character classes, right? And the good thing of doing this is that, for example, when I go into my cran character, which is pretty tall, I can move the speech bubble. You see that it says speech bubble inherited because it's coming from the father class, and I can decide to put it at this height, right? While, for example, when I am in the dwarf model, which is pretty short model, I can have my speech bubble lower, right? So the good part of this is that I can modulate where the speech bubble is based on the size of the character, right? Which is nice. So the other thing that we need to do now is to ensure that we are calling this. So to ensure that we are calling it, we have to go into our PS character in our event graph. We can close this. In our event graph, and ensure that when a new chat message is coming through, right, like this, now we have, in addition to all the other parameters, we also have the actor, this one. So the actor is the character on top of which we should show the pop-up message. The pop-up message, right? So it is not done yet, so we need to do it. This message, we are already on the client side, and we received one message from the server with basically the type of chat. Yes, the type of chat, by the way, is important because we can decide to do. So let me just see what he's doing. Okay, so he's coming here, he's checking that the character is the right one, he's getting the chat window reference. Okay. We are not passing the actor though. The actor is basically dying here at this level of the code. So we go inside receive message, and as you can see here we have sender message type. Yes, and here we do some differentiation. If it's a tell, then store the sender as quick reply target. Yes, and so on. We create. Yes, this is just a line in the chat window, so it's okay. So all of this is fine. My only question is, do we want to have chat system should never come here though. Chat system. Chat system. Now, because I'm thinking if I should differentiate, only the say and the tell, and not the advisor, advise, and NPC. Even if the NPC, let me see what we do if it's an NPC chat. So I'm thinking if we should visualize the pop-up after this block, or if we should visualize the pop-up if we should where is it? Here. Or if we should do it here. I have the feeling that this one is receive same message on client. I have the feeling that this one is called also when we have system messages. Sensei for sure is fine. Send guild. Send guild. Send guild is kind of interesting because I don't know if we are filtering it. Send guild. Oh my god. I didn't expand. Oh yes, we have all of them. Chat guild, yes, we have all of them. Chat group, chat guild, chat alliance, chat auction, chat shout, chat channel. Oh my. So there is all of this possible, right? Which are all the possible chat types. So what is this message filter? Filtering messages. I think this one is the one that is sending it to the different tabs in the chat window based on the type. Yes, I think that's it. Okay. So that we don't care too much. Now what I was thinking is if we should go in parallel, I think we should go in parallel. I think we should have this method getting called and then instantly after having another method which is like show speech bubble or something like that, and show speech bubble should we don't care anymore about the chat window, we don't care anymore about the sender, we care only about the message and the type and the actor, right? So I think this is the way we should do it. Yes, okay, let's do it like this. So let's add, I think I can put it even here on the right side, why not? I can add a new event, right? New custom event, and I will call it show speech bubble, right? Show speech bubble, and the important point is that this one should have. So this will be done. This will be done just after this. So let's put it here. So maybe it's more. So if I do show speech bubble, and I want this to be taking what? I need the message. I need the type, and I need the sender, so the actor, let's say. So this is the sender of the. Cannot help enable the custom event node. Why not? Doesn't like it. Okay, I will do it manually. So this should be a PS character, right? PS character or PS character BP. Now I don't know if it's the BP or the no, it's the PS character directly. I think PS character is fine. So yeah, so PS character exactly. So at this point, we will call this one yes. Did I break something here? When I connected there, I broke this one, which is not good. Okay. So I need to pass in the type again. I need to pass in the message again. And instead of this target, can I call it something else? Because target I don't think is a good name. Let's call it speaker. So it's very clear that is the guy that is speaking. And we have to pass in this actor, right? If we could just put it down here, I think it's a bit cleaner. Okay. Okay, so our show speech bubble, we'll have to do the following, right? So now, this one shows a speech bubble on top of the head of the character. Okay. So, well, this should be actually fairly easy because at this point, what we need to do, we need to get from the speaker, we need to get the widget component, the speech bubble component. We should have a get speech we should have a get component. Do I need to make it a variable or something? Do I need to make it visible? Should be visible by default. If I do this, what happens? Speech bubble. Well, the problem is that it should be from this speaker, you know? I'm a bit confused why I cannot get the speech bubble from there. It's inside capsule component, but who cares? Do I need to get the capsule first and then get my... Why my speech bubble is inside a capsule, by the way? I have no idea. It must be inside a capsule? Okay. So I need to get the capsule component. And then from the capsule component, I need to get the speech. No. No. Why this component? Why I cannot see this component? Tooltip category, parent socket, element 0, blah, 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 blah. Variable name, speech bubble. Yeah. So there is the variable name. So maybe because it's not a BP. Because this one is not a BP. You know? Okay. Is not a BP, and so not being a BP doesn't have it as I think that now it will show. Yes, because it's not a character blueprint class, so I have to cast it to this, and then I get my speech bubble. Okay, I was surprised that was not possible. So speech bubble actually has a show message or something like that. Let me get... So my speech bubble has a widget into it. So I think we can do get user widget object, which is actually the widget associated to this component, right? Assuming that I associated it. It's called win bubble. I think I want to rename it to speech bubble because I want to be sure 100% that I'm not messing up with the names, you know? So I think I will rename it to... Because we have other bubbles. We have like the NPC dialogue bubbles. And I don't want, to get confused. You see, there is this win NPC chat bubble. So let's call it win speech bubble widget. So without widget, everyone is a widget. So win speech bubble. I think it's good. Okay, so we have our wind speech bubble, and so now from here I get my speech bubble component, I get the widget associated to it, which in our case is our wind speech bubble. Then I cast it to speech bubble because obviously it doesn't know, by default it doesn't know which is the associated well, in theory I could save this, in a variable when the character is created. Maybe it's easier than every time, because otherwise I'm executing like these three functions every time a message is sent, just to get a pointer to my speech bubble, which is a bit stupid. If I add a variable, well, this one I have to do anyway because I have to cast a PS character. The difference is only this one, but anyway, super quick because it's just a pointer to something that is already in memory, so it takes like nothing to execute this. It takes like nothing, so I think it's fine. Now with my speech bubble, I think I can do show message. So show message is the method that has been. The important point is that I'm on the right character, yes, but I'm on the speaker, so it's okay. Now here we can do, some manipulation based on the fact that is a specific type of message. And so I think that inside this show message, I would like to get also the type. Which is eChat type. So I would like to extend this one at another input, which is of type, so we will call it type, and is of chat type, exactly. And this one will connect, will connect there. The enumeration has a very weird color. Is this light green or I don't know, green, kind of blue and green together, which is basically, it's nearly invisible. It's very hard to, I don't know if you can see it, but it's very hard to read. Okay, and here we have an in-text message. I see that this one is text. I don't know exactly a difference between f-string and text. Maybe we can Google it a second, because I would like to understand it better. So, Unreal Engine difference between f-string and f-text. Text is useful for any in-game text that needs to be translated. String is kind of useful for, okay, because text has probably some capability to be translated to. Use text variable where localized alphanumeric displays is required. Use name variables for alphanumeric network send receive or where smallest memory footprint is needed. Use string variable for other alphanumeric requirements. So in theory, name would be a better, even if name I think is pretty short, there's only 8 bytes. Yeah. I think f string in this case is okay. I don't know why we have text. The text, I mean, if it has to be localized, yes, but the question is, should we should we localize the NPC speech? In theory, yes. In practice, we will never do it because we have hundreds and hundreds of pages of text by now with all the quests, and I think we will never translate them all unless we find a way to automatically translate. Like there is an automatic translation. So my suggestion will be to change this from text to string, and this means to change also this one from text to string and change everything else. Oops. And change everything else. Wow, I need to redo a lot of that, but it's fine. I hope I'm not messing it up too much, so that after this change it will still work, but I hope so. I hope I'm not messing it up too much, but it should be fine. These are very, very small changes, so. Okay, so that's good. I think we catch them all, right? I think we catched all the point where this was not a string. And okay, so now show message is actually a text, and I think we can just connect now text to text, and it's done. Can you see this green line is so thin? Okay, so this is good. So I think that when actually this is a bit more than just show a speech bubble. So this is actually queuing a new message in the speech bubble queue, which is held by an array which is inside this speech bubble thingy. So it's a bit more than just a pure. Okay, so I think it is good. Do we want to test it? I think we can test it and see what happens. In theory, now whenever I say something in the chat, it should call receive same message on our actor, sending in the sender. And now the only point would be that I need to check the range the range of the chat or not. I think it's already done somehow. So when I'm sending or not. I don't know. This is kind of optimization that we can think about later on, but I think that at the moment, whenever I am in the maps, if I'm saying hello, I think that hello is routed to everyone. No, there is a range. I remember there is a range. Probably for the guild one, there is not. But for the other ones, like if I say send, there should be a send say, right? Send say. Yeah, this one is in chat range. So only the people that are inside the chat range will see the message and also will see the bubble. So it's working exactly the same way. So I think it's good. I think it's good. Okay, I think we can test it. So let's just recompile it and see if everything is okay. Let me save the two characters. We have one character. One point is that this bubble should be by default disabled. You see it on his head. By default, it should be disabled. I mean, not visible. Now I don't remember if I had the widget or the component. I think it was the widget. So I have my widget disabled by default, which is not visible, right? Visible collapsed. Okay, visibility collapsed is already here. I don't know why if I have visibility collapsed, if I'm seeing it here in the character preview. I don't know, but it's fine. I think it will not show in game. So I think we can test it. Now we may decide to apply different style. In case it's a tell or is a say or is a shout or it's something else. But yeah, so we can. I think the old plan shift we had different text color. So based on the type of event, the type of message, we were having different colors. Time it out. Sometimes when we start the server takes a lot of time to load up and our client times out. But you see the second time is pretty quick, so I don't know. I think it's just a matter that the server is not up. Okay, so we can take this guy. I think in the game, this guy unfortunately has some problem in the actual animation, so it's not. Let's go with the crane. Okay, let's go with the crane. We were here the last time for mining, for harvesting, and yeah, there's still some parts that are gray, but don't care about it. So now I think if I, apart from the fact that it's night as usual, but I think if I open my chat now and say hi, nothing happened, which is weird. Probably because it's myself saying it. So I think I need another client to connect. In theory, I should have seen it in the main chat anyway, or not? I think I should have seen it here in the main chat, no? Even if it's me. Why? Okay, now it showed Melare High. I need to make this background less transparent, otherwise it's very hard to... Let's connect with another character and stand in front of this guy and see. Let's try this one, even if this one is a bit broken in terms of animations. As you can see, it's not really... I have to fix this character, but it's okay. So he's walking partially inside the... the point is, if these guys say hello, that is not good. There is something going on. Ouch. Something happened on the server side. Seems that the server side or crashed or timed out. I think it crashed. I think the server crashed for some reason. You can go and check why. Let me close all this stuff, which was the... I was trying to debug some stuff, but seems that our server kind of crashed. Pawn sensing component. This is something completely different. So it's not something that had nothing to do with what we were testing, but it was some sensing script which was messing up. The only thing I was wondering is why, when I did this sensei, it was not really received client side. That's pretty strange. Do we have there is a broadcast message, but there is something different, and this one is the send receive same message on client. So this one should be the one that we are calling. Chat window ref. Let me just check if for any reason we are failing. We are failing there. I hope not, but no, seems not. We are getting a number of errors here at the beginning for the health bar, which we need to check, but I think it's only at the beginning. Something is going on, but I'm a bit concerned on the fact that when I say hi, I actually didn't send any message. I think we should debug this better, because let me put a printout here, okay? I think I can put it on the client side. Let's put it here on the client side. Let me put this one, okay? So which is just a printout. Because it seems to me that it was not really. Also, let me make it day, so that we don't have all the time to freaking. For some reason, all my tests are during the in-game night. Okay, so we go at 10 a.m. So okay, let's restart the server and the client. Just want to see that when I say hi with my character, that this is actually properly displayed. Actually, if it displays in the chat, it means that we are going through. Maybe I can put. Wait, maybe I can put more printouts on, because I want to see. I want to see not only that, but I want to see if it goes into receive message, and I want to see. I don't know what is all of this, by the way. Because certain messages we are actually not handling. So if it's one of these messages that we are not handling at all, we will not see anything. So you know what? I think we can do. We can do just a printf, for all those cases. For now, saying chat message received but not handled yet, something like that, And I think we can send here everything that we are not, everything that at the moment we are not managing. And then we will manage them, okay? But at least we see something, because I don't want that the message is coming with a specific type, and we are actually not handling the type. It should not be any of those. It should be. It should not be any of this. It should be chat say, and chat say is just going to change the color, and then doing this check, and then scrolling to the end and adding the message. So it should not be a problem, actually. But let's see if we get this message, okay? Because basically the first time I wrote hi, nothing happened. I didn't see it in my I didn't see it in my chat window. The second time I saw it, which is a bit weird. One of the advantages of the blueprints is that you can prototype very easily. Like now I can do changes, to the code, basically on the fly without compiling anything. That's pretty cool. But what I'm expecting, is to see the pop-up, even if it's me typing something. So if I say hello, you see that the first time is actually not displayed. It's very strange. Why? The first time I don't even get it on, I don't get it on the chat, and I don't get it on the server either. So, or the server is still doing something and is not fully ready yet to receive messages. So strange. But if I say it again, if I say hello again, no, it's not displayed. It's not displayed. Do we have a regression here or what? It's not displayed at all. And let me just check client side if we have any. Nothing, 0. And let me check if server side we have any. Nothing. It seems like if that message is not sent or something. Ah, but now something happened. Now it happened. Apart from the fact that it's huge. And it's like coming from the top down. I don't know why, but and also is not. Well, why the first messages are not getting sent? Why there is kind of an initialization time? After some time, it's starting to do something. You see this broadcast message client? Hello, hello, hi boys. So he sent 3 messages, which are the 3 that I've seen. The previous ones that I sent were not sent at all. So if I and by the way, for some reason, is my name instead of the actual message. Well, that's just an error in the. That's just an error in where we connected the message instead of the sender, I guess. Ah, yes. There is the mistake. Okay, that's a simple one. But I have no idea why the beginning is not showing it. That's so weird. Also, the other question is why. I think I didn't set it as screen space. Okay. It's actually in 3D at the moment, right? Yeah, it's in 3D. It's not in screen space. So, okay. So, but we need to understand why the first messages are not sent. But the 2 mistakes I made, okay, I connected that thing wrong. Now it's connected okay. And the second thing is that I need to set screen message on screen, whatever, what is it? Space is, instead of space world, you have to do space screen. So first of all, it also disappears here. Space screen, so that is always facing you. Okay. So let's try again. But wait a second, I don't want to do it on this guy. I want to do it on the main space screen. I want to do it here. So it's inherited automatically by all. Right? Yeah, exactly. So now all of them are space screen. Okay, good. Good. It's so strange that the first messages are not going through. It's like if the server is still initializing or something, and so chat manager is not up, but chat manager should always be up. Should be no reason why chat manager is not up. Well, we can trace it very simply because I think it's just some stupid stuff maybe on the array of the chat window that he kind of feels, feels like a backlog of things he has to send, and then um, but we have to debug this. You see, the first one is never sent, and also if you look at the server, there is no broadcast message. The second one is also not sent. The third one, no. The fourth one, no. So it's a matter of time. After some time, he starts to do it. Is the server still loading, or no? I mean, the server is not. No, the server is fully up and running. I don't get it. It's a matter of how long is the message. It's a matter of how do I click in the different chat. Looks like. Hello. My name is Melare. You see that now is much better because his screen space, so it looks much better. It's a bit big. I think we should reduce the font size. What do you think? I think it's a bit big as a message. Let me try to connect with another client like we did before. Hopefully it will not crash, because it was crashing for some weird reason, but it seems to be working anyway. I can try to sit on the floor and see if the message still looks okay. I think we should reduce the font a bit, because at the moment it's really too big. And then we can skin maybe better the... Fuck, as soon as this guy comes online, the server goes down. I don't know why. That's another problem to solve. But yeah, the server went down. Server GG. Yeah. Server GG. Why the server is crashing? When the second guy comes online, something happens. He has to do with he has to do with the pawn sensing component. Process event on timer execute update eye sensing. There is something very weird happening here. Well, one thing is that that character is actually a bit broken, so maybe that's the reason. Because that character, we can fix it, we can go and fix it, because it's broken but should not be broken. So let me see. Okay, so this, you see that this guy is not animating properly, is not having the right animation. So I think the reason is that this guy is using the animation blueprint. Okay, I think his animation blueprint is probably broken after the latest changes, so we need to go and fix it. Let me see. This is a child. Okay, because this one is using a child animation blueprint. Let me just see if it compiles okay. Actually, yes, it seems to compile okay. So, what is the problem? Main overrides. Interesting. Because this one is using is one of the first one that we did with the child animation. Child animation blueprint. And for some reason base ALS and MVP, I think is correct. Base ALS and MVP under PS template. Yes, it's this one. This one for sure works because everything else works. But okay, let's not try to solve 10 problems at the same time, okay? Because otherwise we're just diverging from our objective. So that one, unfortunately, is not usable, okay? So the altered female seems to have the same issue, though. Because also an altered female seems not to be moving correctly. Let me see. If I take an altered female, no, she's animated properly. She's animated properly. Anim class. Maybe I didn't specify the anim class. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't have stone M BP child. Okay, there it is. Now it's moving properly. Okay, for some reason was not having the right animation set. Let me see if we can fix the same to all the other characters, at least all the ones that are broken. This one is even more broken. This one doesn't compile. This one does not compile. I think I know why. Yes, because there is this stuff. We can remove it. It's no problem. So now it should compile. Yes, in fact now it's looking okay. I mean, apart from the fact that he has these freaking shoulders looking like it's a sad day. You see? The shoulders are a bit too much to the front, but it's okay. It's more of an animation problem than anything else. Let me see if there are any other characters which have the same issue. So maybe we can fix them all while we discovered, the fact that, I mean, if it's an easy fix, like also the Enki male, no, the Enki male is moving, Enki female is moving. Let me see this girl. No, this girl is an issue. It's the same combat stuff, so we can remove it for now. Yes, we can check out and save. So she's fine as well. I don't know what is happening on the face. What happened? Oh my god, it's terrible. He has a bad material. Something very bad happened. It's a bit better. Are the eyes correct? Yes, the eyes are correct. Okay, now seems to be okay. Now it's okay. There was a material issue. I don't know why. You can save this one as well. Are there any other characters which are broken? Let me see the male guy. Yeah, the male guy. Ooh, this one is really in trouble. This one is really in trouble because there is still the old team. We can remove this and remove this. This one is still old stuff that we wanted to do, but we did it differently. So we have to redo it. So there is still some old code. Yeah, now he's okay. Now he's moving okay. I think we need to fix. Let me see this guy. I can check them all. This guy is the same problem of the combat. This is not an issue, so we can save it. And we fix him as well. Okay, so now he's okay. Apart from the sad day shoulders. Yeah, I think all the others should be fine. No, this one is broken as well, so let me remove this. Because during the years, during the months, let's say we did different tests on different characters, and now that we have a single skeleton, I think it would be a bit easier. Let me see if I can use this guy is called Dermeth Mail Blueprint. Okay, so this way is okay as well. And then we have the lady. The lady, let me see if the lady moves. Yes, the lady moves, so she's okay. So I think we checked them all, right? Did we check the Enki female? Oh, the Enki female we didn't. That is the same combat issue that we can remove. And save, and she's moving okay. Okay, good. I think we fixed them all. So now, what do we need to understand? Now, let's go back to our previous task. Okay, so at least we did a good round of fixes here for our characters, removing the broken part of the code. And so I really would like to understand what is going on with the chat system. What is going on with the chat system, and what is going on with... So let me do two things. First, we need to understand, let's launch server and client now, and let me try to understand why the chat is not sending messages. My feeling is that when the chat window opens, he has no specific context set, like the tab, like if it's the main or the guild or the tell or the whisper or whatever, and so is not actually sending the message. When I click on the tab, right, and I change between one tab and the other, let me also connect with this guy, with the Cranny Cran, which by the way is not a cran anymore, but why is it so high? It's kind of flying, I don't know why. Let me see if this guy is crashing the server again or not. It seems to be okay. I don't like too much the... Seems he's defaulting always to that direction, I don't know why. There is something weird with the direction of this guy. He's pretty small, by the way, I like him. A pretty small guy. A pretty small guy. I cannot see his face because for some reason the direction is always facing the opposite way. Like if he's rotated 150, I mean 180. I don't know why. Okay, let me try to do this to understand this problem with the chat. I think the issue is with the tabs, so that when the chat pops up, it doesn't have anything selected as a default. So if I say hi now, you see that it doesn't do anything. If I change the tab and go back, so probably now it knows that it's in main, and in fact it works. You know? So I think it's a matter of just initialization of the main tab, so it knows where it's sending the messages. Now the other problem that we have, is it flying a bit? Not too much. The other problem that we have is that I've seen that in this case the message was really low on the head. Hello, my name is Cranny Cran. What's your name? Yeah, it's pretty low. Why is so low? Why so low? Well, our speech bubble Ah, because our speech bubble is here. Okay. We didn't move it. We didn't move it on top of his head, so that's why. That's the only reason. So if we save it now, it will be okay. One thing I wanted to do, I wanted to maybe because I'm in vision of that lady, and that lady's trying to. Let me go like up here where there is no. Well, all those NPCs are looking at me. But let me go like up here, okay? So no NPC should be seeing me. And let me try to connect with the other client. Because I just want to see if they see each other messages, okay? It should be okay because we are broadcasting it. So one client should see his message and the other one should see that the other guy sent the message. So basically we need to adjust the speech bubble vertical location for each of the characters, but it's okay. It's easy to do. So let me connect with this guy now. And let's go and search the other guy. I don't know if this will be too small for you to see, but I don't know exactly how to do it because I have to keep, two screens, one next to the other, so that we see if they see each other messages. Right? So this guy is hiding. Why the camera is visible? I have no idea. You see this camera? The camera is visible for some reason. Why the camera is visible to me? I don't know. Okay. Did the server crash? I think the server crashed again. I don't know what's happening, but when the two characters are seeing each other, our server is crashing. There is something we really need to solve. I think he has to do with the pawn sensing, because actually the characters have a sensing mechanism, but which is this one, pawn sensing, and it's basically when there is the senses that I have enabled. I think are hearing and vision, and whenever they see each other, the server is crashing. Now, I don't think I have. Let me see if I have any code associated to the sensing itself, right? I think I had something. I added it as a test. Yeah, it is. You see, is this one is on C pawn sensing, handle perception playing range. So actually, this one is going server side. We can disable it for now. Well, first thing first, it should be doing it only if he's an NPC. At the moment, he's doing it in any case, but it's pretty stupid. He should do it only if he's a player. If he's an NPC, not if he's a player. So I don't know if I'm caching the is NPC information. I mean, if I'm replicating it, just to know if I am an NPC or not. There is for sure a function called isNPC, right? And but this one is not replicated. So this one by default, client side. No, why client side? The sensing is server side, the sensing is server side, so I think I can just call is NPC. Why not? But it's not blueprint callable, I think. It's not blueprint callable. Huh? It's not blueprint callable. Okay. Well, we can make it blueprint callable, but let me just check what this thing is doing. Handle perception player in range. Handle perception player. Handle perception player in range is actually this thing. Which is in our PS character, and is casting. Well, we can do it here. We can just change this code and just check that we are not a player, right? If we are not a player, if we are not an NPC, in fact, he's trying to go NPC manager, but this will fail because we are not an NPC, so we don't have a brain, we don't have whatever. So yeah, so I guess we don't want to execute this if we are a player, because if we are a player, we are sensing it with our own senses, not with the. So execute only if it's an NPC. So if not is NPC. Come on, we can do it. If not is NPC, return. So we will not do anything. Okay, if we will not do anything if it's not an NPC. So it will not crash anymore. That's the good news, right? That's the good. So we can still call this. Is no problem. It will immediately bail out, and yeah. Now the other thing before restarting the game, the other thing is, can we fix this win chat problem? So like that, it needs to click on something to know that is it like if it's the main, is not automatically selected. Because I think what it's doing is like calling this win chat tab changed and it's setting the current channel. I think that is what it's doing the thing. So that it's setting the current channel to 0. I think that current channel, you see, current channel chat say. Yeah, the default is current channel chat system. Where we are in WinChat. We are in WinChat. We can change it to say, but I don't know if this will fix it. But I think it will. I think if I change this to chat say, and so by default the current channel is chat say when I type something, I think it will work. Okay, let's try. Okay, so we did 2 good fixes. Now the only problem is that I did a fix in the code. Win shortcuts. I didn't change win shortcuts at all. And I didn't change player controller, by the way. So don't save any of those. So we need to recompile. We need to recompile this because we have one step at a time, boys. One step at a time, and we will have our MMO one step at a time. Okay, the build succeeded, so I can just restart server and client. Okay. So we can connect now. We want to see two things. First thing is that if I type something here, it works immediately. Aha, we fixed it. Okay, so was the chat say thing. So that is fixed. Now the second thing I want to see is that when I load in with another client, this bone sensing thing is not crashing the server, because that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. Yeah, the reason it was that it was trying to execute some NPC code for a player, and that's definitely not a good idea. That's definitely not a good idea. So let's connect with this guy. Then we will have to figure out why this guy is flying. I have no idea why he's flying a bit. I mean, he's flying this in the cell, and also why he's always looking at the other side. Whatever I do is always default. The default is always to look at the other side. I have no idea. Wow, this guy has many items, by the way. This guy has an incredible inventory. We did a lot of tests with him. Look at that. He has glyphs. He has round shields. He has 2 glyphs. Pretty good. Okay, anyway. Let's put this guy up here and expand the window a bit. And then let's see if with this other guy we can reach him and he will not crash me. Okay. I see the camera. I don't know why I see. I have no idea why I see his camera. Anyway. I don't know even what is that camera, but okay. We will figure it out. So the point is, whenever one of the two speaks, so like if I say hi, oh, by the way, I'm not seeing. Fuck, he crashed again? How did he crash? The server crashed again, boys. I don't know why. It crashed again in pawn sensing component. Ah, it's not possible. I think that is the usual thing that is not compiling the DLL and is using old code. I'm pretty sure. Let me delete. I don't know why this happens. If someone knows, please tell me. But I think that sometimes it's just getting stupid with the auto loads. And let me see if he's trying to use a auto load at the moment. Yes. He's using a hot reload, and it is the reason. So I want to delete this, and you know what? I'm gonna. But if I can't delete all of that. Fuck it. I will just delete everything, so we are sure that it's not messing up, because it's so annoying when it's doing this. Yeah. So it was basically it was still using the previous code for whatever reason. I don't know why it happens sometimes. I mean, the hot reload should happen only when you have the editor open, right? But we recompiled with the editor closed, and I did it by purpose. So you see now, this one is recompiled. Now, as soon as I start, it will tell me that it needs to recompile, but it's okay. We will recompile it. As soon as I start the server, it will tell me, hey, the following modules are missing, do you want to recompile? And we say yes. I don't know exactly why this is happening, by the way. Maybe he's trying to be smart, you know, and avoid me to recompile all the time, but at the end, the result is that sometimes I'm not getting the latest code and I have to manually delete the DLLs and force him to recompile, which is a bit weird. Okay, so with one client I'm reconnecting. Let me see if now finally we don't crash. I think we should not crash. Please don't crash. I think we crashed already. No? Hello, man. You see me? Yeah, now it sees me. Seems it did not crash. So it's using our latest code now. I don't know why it's always looking at the other side, but we will fix that. That's the problem with the character, actually. So, yeah, what we want to test is that whenever I type something like hi, is appearing on both screens, and actually it does. So I can say hi, my name is Mulare. What is your name, little boy? Yeah, I think it works okay. Hey, my name is Cranny Cran, and I come from the south. Nice. I think it works okay. Hello, Rewind. I think it works. Do we need to do anything else? Well, we can skin better the speech bubble, but let me try to put some crazy characters into it and see what happens. Seems okay. So I think that the time it stays on screen now is based on number of characters. So it's basically half a second. I changed it a bit. It's half a second every 6 characters. Okay, so if you say only hi, it stays on screen very, very little. I mean, we can maybe add 1 second on top. But if you say something long, can I copy paste? Or I wonder if I can copy paste into the chat. No, I cannot. Should enable it. But if I say my name is Kenny, I come from the south, you know, and I'm searching for fame and fortune in this land. You see that it stays on screen quite more, right? So it's basically allowing you to read it. I think it seems okay. I think it's fine. Can you speak Stonebreaker language? No. Okay. I think it works okay. I don't know how can I break it. I mean, if there is a way to break it. Probably the only thing is to add 1 second on top of. So if the time is lower than 1 second, keep it 1 second. Yeah, I think we can do that. I think it looks cool, no? What do you think? I think it looks very nice. So to change that, because there is a small formula doing this, I think we can tweak it a bit. So under UI, main menu, no, game, widgets, Windows, Win speech bubble. It is not bad for a French to have enough time to read. Yeah, I understand exactly. Maybe not everyone is. I don't know what is the reading speed. I mean, at the moment, the calculation is 6 characters every 0.5 seconds. I can make it I can make it slower, but I did some tests and that seems to be reasonable. 6 character every, so 12 character every second. So in 1 second you can read like a long word or two small words. So like you read, calculates the time it takes to read the message. I mean, I read it very quick. I read it like in 2 seconds, and calculate the time it takes to read the message is like 2 seconds, or 2 seconds. So it's 6. So I'm giving half a second every 6. So I think it's okay. The only thing we should do is that if this is below 1 second or 1 second and a half, we keep it 1 second and a half. So I think we should. It's here already. This max function is already doing that. So it was saying 0.7. I think 0.7 is very small. I think 2 seconds should be the minimum. 2 seconds. Say hi. Say 1, 2. I think it's okay. 2 seconds should be the minimum. Yeah, there is a max now. Yeah. Hello, Gian. By the way, thank you a lot for the example. It helped me so much. I just improved a bit, the layout and the comments, and I improved a bit the design with the skin, and then I integrated it into the game. But thank you a lot. It was very good. I mean, maybe I could do it myself as well, but for example, the animations, I was not really aware, of the fact. I mean, I never did a widget animation, so that was very interesting to see. And yeah. Okay, we can test it again, but I think it's basically done. The differentiation we can do with the differentiation by channel. I think in the previous, I think in PS Legacy, we had different colors for each of the channels. So if it's a standard say, it shows in white. If it's a tell, it shows in green. If it's a group, I don't remember. But anyway, he has a color for each, which I think is important, because if you are speaking with someone, and you are saying, tell this guy something, and it shows as a bubble, you may think that he said that to everyone, right? And that may be very bad, because you say, no, why you're saying that to everyone? It's a secret between me and you. So yeah, I think it's much better that if it's short, it stays at least 2 seconds. I think it's much better. Where do you want to go? Do you think the text is too big? I can tell you about the place where Terzos live. Do you think the text is too big? I think it's a bit big. I think in the previous game, in the PS Legacy, it was much smaller, right? So if you look at the screenshot here, look at the text, it was way, 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 way smaller. But anyway, we can make it configurable. It's just a font, just the font. So we can allow the player to change the font. It's a mountain. About 5 hours walk from here. How do you want to come? I can tell you that the place will go. It's about 5 hours walk from here. I think the duration is a bit too long, but I think it's okay considering we don't have all native English speakers. So yeah, we can make the text smaller. At the moment, the text is, I can tell you, the text is, brush, image size, color, no, wait, it's this one, is 18. The font size is 18. We can try to make it 14 and see what happens. We can try 14, easy. And can we also change the color of the text while we are at it? So if I say tell, can I tell myself something? Tell Melare hi. Oh, tell is not recognized. Holy shit! Are you serious? Okay, tell is not recognized. Also, say is not recognized. Holy shit! Okay, we need to fix that. Because tell for sure is in the code, but for some reason is not parsed properly. Okay, let me try to see why. Why tell is not going through? Execute command. User manager, handle user command. I think it's inside user commands. Check for emotes. I think. So say, okay, /say, I understand it is not a command because by default you just type in the chat and it's sending it out. But /tell should be something for sure, right? Say who public specific client specified means use /tell and not /say. Private NPC response. Tell the user everything went fine. Tell the user everything went wrong. Interesting. No, I wanted to have the other tel. We should have somewhere. I don't remember how it was handled. If it was handled only inside a whisper, so like if you go whisper, but if I go whisper and I say something, how does it know who I'm saying it to? No, it's saying command not recognized, so he's not considering this. He's not catching it. Okay, let's check 1 second. I think it was only client side. Let's check 1 second the old code, because I need to understand where did we put the slash tel in the old code, and based on that we will move it to the new. Okay, but first I need to know, because it's already handled for sure, just I don't know where in the code, but it's already handled for sure. 100% is handled 100%. Unless it was fully client side. If it's fully client side, then it will probably not. Because in theory it's here in the say, but I think it's easier if I search the string where it says that someone told you something, right? What is the string in game when you do a tell? Is whispers, or does it say whisper? Like whisper you something, or how is it in the game? How is it in the code, in the old code? Does it say like Talad whispers you this, or does it say just tells you? Ah, it is, tells you. Tells. So is this one log chat message? Tells. Tells. I think we are saying tell, chat tell. Anyways, chat tell is this one. I think if I search chat tell, so handle chat message, right? Mm, no, that's okay. This is where we handle the reception of it. Here is where we handle the full chat message. But I think I need to know. Wait 1 second. So inside player commands, right? Inside common groups. No. Inside where the hell is that thing? Common group assignment, right? So, but this one is not telling me anything. And by the way, tell is not even here. Again, say is not even here, because these are the additional commands. No, but there must be somewhere in the code where we are checking for the tell command. Come on. There must be. I think it's probably only client side in the chat window. I think the chat window is doing a pre-check. Command users, here it is. Command users, where are we? We are inside handle commands. We are client or server? So we are client side. Yeah. We are client side. So that's probably why we don't have it in our. Wow, this function is insane. So I remember this one. I remember that we have something in our new code. I think we have something in our new code which is handle user command. For all the other commands we add to user command above, refer to client user command. Yes, exactly. All the commands which are pure client side are handling the blueprint wing chat and the command function. I mean, okay. For all the other commands we add to user command dash above. What do you mean above? User command dash below is here. User command dash. Okay, I'm getting closer. I think I'm nearly there. Here it is. But we don't have slash tell, and we don't have slash say. We don't have those two. Why we don't have those two? We don't have those two because they were only client side. We don't have those two because user manager. Where is user manager? User manager, we don't have it. Okay. User manager. Come on. Why not? No? Ah, is this one. Okay, here it is. These are all the commands. Admin assist. But I added so many more here. Why I added so many more? Admin advise. For example, advise. Advise, I added it in. I think it is exactly the list that I took from here. Let me see if there is advice here, but I'm pretty sure there is. No? Fuck. There is not. Why there is not? I was sure it was here, but it's not. Holy crap. Slash advise. So I think this list is an extended list of the commands that we originally had inside user manager. I'm not fully sure why I decided to expand it with all the others, but my idea was that I did it because they were inside command user here on the client side and I was not managing them. But I'm a bit surprised. Advise, maybe without a slash. Wait. No, it's not like this either. But there must be a place where we check for this freaking advice, right? We don't entire solution. You already searched the entire solution for this? I don't believe you. Okay. Anyway, I'm missing exactly where it's doing it. Okay. But Bro, there must be the place where he's doing this. The problem is that tell is a kind of a keyword and it's freaking everywhere in the code. One second. Let me do another way, which is probably easier. If I launch the old client, one second. Let me launch the old client. If I launch the old client, maybe in gem CPP. Why in gem? I think in gem there was a lot of stuff, so it's also possible that it's there. But in gem I found this one, which is the NPC speaking, but the NPC is not. No, it's not here for some reason. It's not here. It's not here. But let me just do something in the old client, okay? So I think it's easier. I just say tell, and it will give me an error if I don't specify a name. So if I do slash tell blah blah, it will tell me that blah blah does not exist. Right? Tell blah blah. It says you must enter the text. Okay, this is what I need to search. You must enter the text. You must enter the text. So this thing. Okay, here it is. Well, it's also under slash help. We are in command user, by the way. Slash advice. Why now is here advice? Did I type it wrong, like with an S instead of a C? Oh, fuck. It was advice with an S instead of advice with a C. And that's why I was not finding it, but it was here. Okay. Thank you. Slash replay. I found the chat window. Okay, so it is purely inside the chat window. So it's inside the. Is fully client side. Is inside the chat window component, and is. You see slash say should be also slash tell here. I hope so. Slash tell, here it is. I don't know why when I was searching it, entire solution was not finding it, but okay. But it's here. So it's purely client side. It's purely inside the chat window. So I think what we did, we moved all the stuff that was purely in the chat window. We moved it inside. We moved it. I don't think we moved it inside the chat window, but we moved it in. Or yes, I don't remember if we moved it here. No. I think we didn't move it here. We moved it. Handle command. Yes, we moved it here. So these are the pure client-side commands. And slash tell and slash say actually are not here. But I think we should, because we should add it here, because all these commands, I mean, if you want to follow the same logic, the same logic that we had, like slash replay. I don't know if we have a slash replay here, but no, we have slash study, slash show, slash help, slash FPS. Why didn't place a comment here saying from where I took this list? Because I want to understand if this list, but slash guild, for example. No, it's not it. Slash save shortcuts. Why I'm taking so much time to do this? Because I want to be sure that we are consistent with We are consistent with ourselves, you know. Command users. So save shortcut, for example, is in command users. So, and load shortcuts as well. So all this stuff I took from here. Okay, so let me put a comment so we remember for the next time, right? All of this is inside this huge function. But for example, use combine, uncombine, fish, harvest, and repair, which are the one that we did the other day. I didn't move them here. I moved them directly because I think we should limit as much as possible the stuff that we. Wow, this function is insane. It's like 2,000 lines. It never finishes. There is no end. There is no end. Let me put a comment saying check user command and the commands. Okay. So yeah, and the command user command function in the old code. So this was in the old code, right? User command, handle command. There was all this stuff. And some we moved here, only the one that were purely client side. Now ps command, user command. We added them to the command dash above. Okay. So let so like okay. I think we can just add them here and that's it. I think it's the easiest. I'm thinking where is the best place. So if I want it in this list, the /say/tell, if I want it in this list, or if I want it in this list, so under user command. Actually, I think I want it here. I think I want in the blueprint only the one that are purely visual stuff, like /quit, I don't know, /load shortcut, so stuff that is really only client side. 100% /screenshot, right? /brightness. I mean, stuff that is completely client side we can put here, but all the stuff that is also interacting with the server, I don't want it there anymore. So I want it here, right? So I think we will just add /say/tell to this list. The problem will be that I will have to connect it to. No, but I think it's okay. I will. So let's assume I added there. Okay. So let's imagine that I added it to this list. Then this one we'll have to call handle say and handle tell, and compared to the old code, right? Compared to the old code, this will be similar to. This will be similar to our chat window /tell. So will be this code. Yeah. I think it's okay. Now, one point is that, for example, you see what he was doing here? When you say /tell, is automatically switching to the right tab in the chat window, right? So if you are here and you are saying /tell something, it will immediately switch to the whisper tab. So that's why it was client side. That's why it was in this list. And that's why it is in this list, because it's still on the client and it's just double checking that you have a proper, now you may misspell the name. So if you misspell the name, I think it will still switch to that window. If I say /tell hi, this doesn't exist, you see. It says not found online, but it's still switching to the whisper tab, even if actually the command was invalid. That is because it's doing it but it's good because anyway you wanted to tell something to someone. So, and if you say let's say hi, is switching automatically to the main tab. So yeah, that's the reason why he was. And if I guess if I say guild or anything else is doing the same. Yeah, that's why it was in the client side, to be able to immediately switch the tab, which to me is a value, no? I think it's good. I think it's good, so I would like to do it the same. So that's probably why then it should be here, because the first thing that it does is then to switch the tab, double check that you have a name selected, and then I'm not a real fan of putting it here, to tell you the truth, but I'm not a real fan of putting it in this list, which will become a super huge list. But for example, this one, what is it? Any other commands are going through the server side. Yeah. So what do we do? What do we do, boys? We add it to this list. So we have the ability to switch the tab immediately, and what? How do we simulate the fact that we clicked on something? I will have to click on. I will have to call this click. So I will have to call button clicked. I will have to call this thing. I think it's possible, right? Yeah, I think it's possible. I will call this one. I will call this one, and then I will have to send the message. Though I will also have to send a message. Okay. I think we can do it this way. Again, I'm not a fan of adding the stuff in this thing, but I lost it already. Where was that? I lost it. Chat window. And the command. Okay, I closed it for some reason. Okay, see. Okay, let's do it. I think I reasoned enough on it. Let's add a new element, which is a slash say, and another element, which is slash tell. And let's put it alphabetically ordered if possible. Can I move it? Yes. And slash tell will go st here. Okay, so we have two new ones. Now, what this thing have to do? They have to they have to do a bunch of stuff. The first one just need to be sure that he's selecting the is calling. So we have to call add button, whatever it was. You have to call this thing. He has to call this one add button clicked, vertical main, add button vertical main. Okay, I think I can click this way. Bind event, bnd event. Is this calling the method or is doing something crazy? I think it's calling the method, right? with the ID. What is this ID that is passing through? I think it's the ID. What is the ID? Is the ID of the control or what? I have no idea. What are we doing with this ID? Call admin tab changed. Is this a dispatcher? I think it's a dispatcher. I think it's a dispatcher. Admin, yeah, it's this dispatcher. Yeah, exactly. And this dispatcher is calling what? Admin chat tab change. So this one should be in the father class, in the father of this one. The father of this one, I think, can only be W container, right? So I think here there should be no. I don't remember, but I think it works this way. So I think the dispatcher is calling the father. Win chat tab. Win chat tab. Okay, I think it's here. I don't know what the hell is this ID. If the ID is something that we have set on the tab selector. Okay. Set tab selected, set opacity. Holy crap, it's doing so much stuff. Over events. I don't know what it's doing. I just need to select the other tab, so that's what I want to do. But if I pass in the wrong ID, I think it will not work. So that's my feeling. Verify. I don't know what is this ID used for, but for sure used for something. So if I pass in the wrong ID, I think it will not work. The only problem is, what is the ID of that? What is the ID of the main button, right? So this thing has an ID. Let me see if there is ID here in the variables of this thing. Is there an ID? No. So how is the ID set? If I search ID, I think I will find 1 million. Set ID. There it is. Ah, it's all hard coded. It's all hard coded, boys. Holy moly. I didn't do this, by the way. No, thanks to the guy that did it, because anyway, I mean, he managed, to build a chat window, and it was great. But at the same time, this guy was using a lot of hard coding, so okay, I guess we will hard code even more. So our main is number set ID. It's so hard to say. Is 20. So is ID 20. So I think if I call and the whisper is ID 23. 20 and 23. So I think if I do if I call this with ID 20 and I come from my say this will just switch to the proper tab. Okay, and then I will do the same for booty tab whisper, and this will be 23. I really don't like this system, by the way, boys. I think it's super hard coded. I think it will backfire on us very, very, very soon. It will backfire on us very, very soon, this thing. But anyway, because I think that this is automatically generated by the editor, and so I think that if we like disconnect and reconnect the bound event, I think this will become invalid and everything will be fucked up. I think it will be like a nightmare. But anyway, for now let's do it like this, but I think we should reconsider it. Okay, so slash say slash tell. So now these are managed. We go here. Now with the say, we should just send the message like if we press the enter on the on here. So when we press enter, I think there is an event on text change. No, on text committed. No, we don't do this. I was pretty sure we did it, but evidently we don't. Okay, so there is no event connected to when I press the enter key. So I think we do it in another way. I think we do it in another way. Text commit event. There it is. This text commit event, where is coming from? On press key down, enter key. Okay, good. So I think we can just call this. We can just call this, which is then doing what? Is selecting the method, is clearing the editable boxes, is clearing the widget, is getting the player controller, is setting the input method. Oh my god. Is matching wildcards, is adding to the chat history. Holy shit. Is a slash command. Clears the input box. I think we only need to call this part anyway. We need to call only this part, which is when it's broadcasting the message. Are we client side here? Yeah, we are client side here. So I think target PS character BP, get player controller, get controller, get object name, which is me, text, broadcast message. Well, yes and no. Combat chat tell here is not selected. Yeah. So this is true for the say, is not true for the whisper. But anyway, it is pretty good. So we can take this, right? We can take this, and in case is a slash command, he goes here, he understands is a say, he goes here, and then it does this, right? So gets the current player controller, gets the controller pawn, get the character BP, gets his name, object name is completely wrong. How can object name work? Object name will never work. I think probably we are not using the sender then, because the sender is wrong. Broadcast message. Let me check what broadcast message is doing, but Ah, yes, we are not using the sender. That's why. Because it's wrong anyway. We are getting the control. We are getting the player again here. Chat say. Send message. Broadcast message. Text. Cast to potential player control. Send chat. We can just do this. The problem is. It's a bit convoluted, if I can say. Because this one is doing nothing else than then calling this, and this is doing nothing else than then getting the player controller and sending the chat message. So, so I would prefer, to do this directly, because this one goes on server side. Okay, it's fine. This one goes server side, so let's keep it like this. I think it's good, because at least it goes server side, so it's doing something. So I think we can do this and send it to everyone. It's just doing a standard say message. This one will work. Yes, I think it will work, with the difference that I need to put in the text. Now the text is basically the message is this thing, minus the first word. Do we cut it off already somehow? Or do we send the word command? I have no idea. I think we just send the message. Right chop 5. So we do something like this. Okay, we can do that. It's not the best, but I think it's okay. It's okay, boys. I think it's okay. So we right chop 4. Well, 5 with the space. And we take this and we put it here. No, mistakes were made. And we put it here. And then this one we put it here. Okay. So this is only sending. This is basically broadcasting the same message. So we did nothing. Well, we did something, but it's not really helpful. But at least it's allowing us. So this is the say command, okay, which we basically already had, because we could just type, a text in the chat and it was working. But this is allowing us to manage if someone says /say whatever, because it can be part, of a script, it can be part of a macro or whatever. So I think it's good that we still manage it, even if it's a part of a macro. I think we'll not go through this. Who cares for now? Now, the other point, that is the reason why we came here in the first place, is that we want to manage also the tell command, which today is completely unmanaged, right? So the first thing that the old code was doing, was to basically check if you had two parameters. If you didn't have two parameters, at least two. So the name of the person and the message you want to send, it was not working, right? So how do we do this? We can right chop and we can search for a space. If there is at least a space, we are good. The other thing we can do it, we can parse. Is the parse into array something? Parse Is the parse string into array? Yeah, it's also in the blueprint. Yeah, because I used it from code, but it's also in the blueprint. So maybe there is an override for key press. Yes, there is. Sorry, I read your message a bit late, but so or we do this and we put the delimiter as a space like it is already. Oops. And then we check if the size is 2, I mean greater than 2, or we search a space into the string, or what do we do? I think we can parse it. Why not? I think we can right chop it. I think we can right chop it and parse it. That is so weird. Can we use this? Can we make this a thing from here? So that from here I go here, and from here I go here. Okay, so we still right chop 6 in this case because it is a slash tail, and we parse into the array the result. The delimiter is the space. After doing that, we can check if the string has at least if there are at least 2, so we can check the length of this thing and check if the length is at least is greater than 1, right? It has to be more than 1. If it's not more than 1, then we branch and we say sorry, you didn't specify a name. So we say if it's false, then we just have to send a message. Send a message the same way we send messages. Receive message, commands are blah blah blah. So we use exactly this chat system. So yeah, we send it as a system message. Like we act smart, but in reality is all inside the. And we say please specify a player to whisper a player. Please specify a player name and message. Please specify a player name and message. Okay. And it is sent to system. The sender we don't care, right? The sender is us. Yeah, the sender we don't care. And so if this is false, then we do this. If it's true, means that we can actually tell someone something. So in that case, where is this code going? Where is this code going? Slash tell. This thing is going at the end of everything. Is creating a chat message and is sending a chat message and is publishing it and is sending to the server. Okay, so at that point the server inside inside user manager, I think probably inside user manager, is getting not here, but I think it's a handle. So yeah, I saw it before. It was chat underscore tell. It was this guy. I think we are here. Chat window. No, this is the reception of it. Client side. I want the. I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. Chat log message. I don't want this. I don't want this. No. Chat manager. Chat manager. Yes, we are here in chat manager. So chat manager is the one receiving it. Handle chat message. Okay. I think this one we have, right? This one we have in the new code already. I think we do. So we just need to call this. In the old code was end the chat message. Okay. Why I didn't call it the same, I have no idea, but it's okay. Talk interaction. Well, it's not exactly the same though, because here we are just no. It's not. I mean, it's this, but it's not only this. Exactly. I think it's this code. Chat manager and the chat message, right? Starts with a nice don't. I like this comment. Don't. Don't. Okay, so handle chat message. So we have to enter here with the proper FPS chat message. Now we can create this, or we can message person. Do we ever call this thing? I think we never call this thing, because all this part of the code we never used. Even if chat NPC, I think we do, right? When the NPC is speaking. But anyway, this is the right place, so we need to call this, right? We need to call this. Let me just check if anywhere else we are calling this thing. Ah, yes, we are calling it from here, from send chat message. We are okay, so this is the class then we need to use. eChat type, trigger, me. Tell chat manager to handle a chat message. Target chat full name. No. Ah, yes. Okay. So we can specify a target. Okay, nice. I think we can call this one. I think we can call this one. The important point is that the chat type. Yeah, I think this one will work. This one will work. This one will work. This one will work. I just need to be sure that I call it server side. Because here I'm still client side. Here I'm still client side inside my Win chat, so I need to search send chat message everywhere. Yes, player controller, send chat message, execute. Yes, this one exactly. Send NPC chat message. No. Send a chat message, broadcast message, send chat message. I don't have a function that does this. That is actually pretty stupid because it's not. This function is very old. We created it when we started porting to Unreal. It was the first thing that I did, sending a chat message. So you see that it's not supporting any of this. It's not supporting the target, it's not supporting the chat type. So I think we need to expand this one to have at least 2 more parameters. I'm thinking about it, but I think this is what I want to do. So now we may be breaking stuff, okay? We may be breaking stuff, but here we have 2 targets, okay? Because target 1 is me and another is the target, okay? But it's okay. I think like this is okay. Now for the old one we need just to put the chat say, and the target will be empty. Yeah, I failed to save because I have my client open. So we started from the bubbles, but now we are really deep into this fixing of this thing. But I think it's a good fix. It's something we should do. It's something we should do. So I need to compile. It will not compile, obviously. It compiled. Because he left it empty. Whatever this is called, he left it empty. I need to find all the places where broadcast message is called and fix it. Right? So it's called here. It's called here, and there is a say. So there is to be chat say. The target can be empty. Chat say with target empty. Okay, this one will be fixed. And then this one is the one that I'm calling now. So this one will be chat tell, and the target. Fuck. The target is not a PS character. Target, we have a text. This is not very good. We have a text. We have a text, but this one, this one is taking send chat message, right? This one is taking a PS character directly. This one is taking a PS character directly. And the chat message. We don't have it. We don't have it. And the chat message. This one, we have a string. We have a string. How was the old code doing it? Because the old code could not have an ID. I want to do it exactly how the old code was doing. Exactly the same. Chat type. How does he know if he's a tell? Has gone the tell. Where is it? Here it is. Yeah, exactly. It's a string. It's a string, and it's finding the exactly. So why we said that this is a PS character. This must be a string, or it will never work. So when I ported this code, where is tell? I skipped it. The name of the person should not be empty. Message, but message, are we still using message here? FPS chat message. I'm confused now. So the target is never used. It's used only when it's an NPC. Okay, when it's an NPC, don't touch it. When it's a tell, I don't have to use target. I have to create the proper chat message in here. The problem is that in Planescape Player Controller, I'm creating I think I need to expand this. I think I need to have another parameter which is just the target name, because here is working for NPC. When you're speaking with an NPC, and automatically you have the character which is pointing to the thing, but I think here, unfortunately, I I need another parameter. There is no chance. Because if I try to search for the name before, I have to change. If I try to search for the actor before, I need to change all the code downstream, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I want to keep the same code downstream. So I think I will just have here an f string, which is target name, and this will be used only in case of tell, or in terms of I think will be only used for the tell. And this will be, if the target is valid, use get char full name, otherwise use target name, right? So this way we fix it. So target name will be inside chat message, and all the downstream code will work. So we just have to fix from here up, because from here up now is broken, but it's okay. It's okay. Don't panic. We close this. We save whatever you need to save. It's fine. We need to change our Planeship player controller base send chat message. Send chat message in this place. I need to add the target name here. Right? I need to recompile. Hopefully it's not doing the auto reload, because otherwise it's annoying. Is there a dev meeting today? No. I'm just testing something. Maybe because she saw that I was going online. I don't think there is, right? Is there? I don't think there is. Is there? No, I don't think so. Maybe there was in Shift calendar. Shift calendar. No, it's not. It's next week. I didn't put the thing here that I was streaming. Crap. I think I missed also the previous one. Crap. I will do it. So what I was saying, yes, I was waiting for it to recompile. Okay, while I'm waiting it to recompile, let me just add the event then. Just 1 second, I think I have to do it from here. Calendar. No, I don't do it from here. I do it from the other browser. I do it from this browser. Yes, I do it from this other browser. So when I streamed the other day, I streamed when I streamed, yeah, because I want to keep a track of the streaming also on the calendar so people can see it. So I streamed on the 29, 28, 29, 23, 28, 29 of February. 23. Yeah, I missed 28 and 29. Crap. 28 and 29. I will add it right now. I will add it right now. Okay. 28, we said 28, 29 and first. 28. I don't know when I streamed. I think it was like in the evening. So I just put a random evening time. 28, 29. And now the first. I streamed 3 days in a row? I don't think so. Probably yes. Okay, I streamed 3 days in a row. Surprised. Surprise, surprise. So I'm working on another stream. Don't worry, everything is okay. Okay. So in a few they will appear here. There is a kind of a caching mechanism, so it will take some time. But okay. So did it compile or not? Yes, one succeeded. Okay, now we just need to be sure that it didn't auto-reload the thing, because if you auto-reload it, we don't see it in the editor, and it's very annoying. So it didn't auto-reload. Okay. Let me just see if you recompile this one. No, 1030. You see that he's not recompiling it? I mean, he's saying that he recompiles, but then he's not doing it. Why? I don't know. I always had this problem. If someone can tell me why, I would be very happy. Why is not recompiling the DLLs for the editor when he has to do it? Why you have to delete them manually? What is the point? No idea. No idea. I forgot you were online, and this stuff flashed and confused me. No problem. I will close it, so it's fine. Okay, now it's recompiling the thing for the editor, right? And so we will have in the editor. So now what we changed? We changed the call to send chat message. Incoming chat to NPC or player. Yes, exactly. So the point is that it's also player. So when target name is specified, when target is specified is an NPC, because it means that we are speaking directly with the NPC and we have it selected client side, and so we know exactly the actor. While when we are sending a tell, we are using target name. Now, inside target name, I think we fixed it already, right? So inside send chat message, we should now be fine. We use target name, we pass it here, and it will go to end the chat message. End the chat message, which is in chat manager, will take the message, and so now we will go inside the tell, which is here, right? So we'll go inside of this, inside of this block, and okay, this is still old, by the way, but this will never happen. This will never happen. This will never happen because we already checked the name, but we should check it again, I guess. Search a player object from his name. Now this one, I hope it works. I have no idea, but I hope it works. And this one, you fix me. Well, we need to find the target, and at this point we send the tell to that guy. I think it should be fine. I think this guy will receive it. Now these messages we need to change because there is still the old code. I don't know why we still have this thing here, but send system error. Send system error. We modify is a very old code that we decided to change, and send system error should not exist anymore. Yeah, send system error should be transformed to this. So I need to change this as well. Crap. But let me change first. What is this window? Is this a search window? Let me change first the call from our chat window. What are we changing the chat window? WinChat UI, WinChat window. WinChat, right? So we were inside of this. And now, and now, and now what? And now this function, okay, this function now has target name. Okay, pretty good. So broadcast message, the target should not be target, but should be target name. Should be target, should be target name, and it should be a string. And target name should now connect. I mean, it cannot connect to target, boys. Should now connect here. Target will not be connected. Target will be connected only when we speak with NPCs. Okay. So now we need to be sure that this target name is properly set when we call broadcast message. So broadcast message, we search it everywhere, is here, and here we don't need it because it's just a say. But we have another one which is here, which is the one that I was adding. Yes, exactly. And here is where we need it. So our tell, no, it's not there. Wait, I made a mess. I changed the one that was say. Okay, so it's not this one. Is this one, right? So we have to go here and say broadcast message. So if it's true, so if we have a name, we send the right chop of this, plus we need to send the second, we need to get the second get copy one. So the second, we send it as a target name. The sender is me. Wow, is all of this? Oh, shit. No, but the sender, we said that we get it automatically after. So the sender is not used. By the way, we should remove the sender from here because we are not using it. You see that it's never connected. The sender is never connected. So I will just remove it so that it's not messing up with us anymore. Okay, so let's remove it. We are not using it. Why we should? Why we should? You know. So now this will not compile anymore, I know, because the sender is not there, but the sender we will not use. So I think we can remove all of this stuff. Yes, I hope so. No, because the target, I still use it. I still use the target. I just don't use the object. Okay. So it's like this. It's like this. Yes. So here we are sending the name, which is the second parameter. And then we need to send the text. Now, the problem of the text is that is everything except... So how do we do the get tail? I don't remember how we were doing the get tail. Get tail, word array get tail, string util get tail. Okay. So we were doing it with the string utils. Can we do it in a better way? Yeah, well, we can use this to get the rest of the message, excluding the name of the person we want to send it to. Now, the question is this the best way? String utils. I can check. I don't remember what this is doing. I think string utils is trying to get get tail. No. String utils get tail doesn't exist. This get time, get world, but not get time. Why I said string util get tail if it doesn't exist? I don't get it. Ah, it's word array get tail. String utils get tail in word array. Yeah, but word array, I think is something that I used only server side. I think it's not blueprint exposed. I think word array. Yeah, word array is only a server thingy. So in reality, I cannot really use this class. From the blueprints, I cannot use it. Or I make it blueprint enabled, which I can. But I mean, it's just looping on all the remaining and adding a space in between, and we can do the same. The problem, the problem is that we are doing kind of unnecessary string parsing here, and it's a bit annoying. So now I'm thinking, is it easier if I just write chop based on the length of the second string plus a space? Probably yes. That is probably what I can do. I mean, I have two ways. I get the length of this string and I chop it compared to the length of the original one, or I take from the second word up and I do a for loop and I concatenate it again with spaces in between. Which one is faster? Which one is better? Which one is smarter? I have no idea. It seems to be pretty much the same to me. The easiest to do, I mean the quickest to do, is just to get the length of this and sum it up to 6 plus one space, so sum it up to 7 and write chop, and that's it. I mean, it's a bit hard-coded, yes, but so let's say that the name is Talad. Talad is 5, so it will basically do 7 plus Talad. So I will chop at 13, which is the wall slash tel plus a space plus Talad. Well, it's not considering the next space, so it will actually go to 8 if you want to consider only the next space. And so at this point we write chop the same string for this value, and we are happy. No? No. Yeah. So what we did here, we basically, and it is the text to send, okay? So the target is myself, yes. The chat will be a tel, that is the important point. And the text is the one that we extracted, and the target name is the second parameter that we get from here. I don't know if this will work because I mean we have to test it a bit, but it should be fine. Or it doesn't like. Okay. Target is self, but we are inside WinChat. Okay. Yes, we need to do this in the same way. So I need this to be slightly bigger. And I need to get the player controller and blah 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 and cast it to and blah 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 and then send my message. Okay, so I think that's it. Well, I also have to connect it maybe. It's still failing somewhere else. Let me see. No, sender, this one is not used, so we can delete it. This one is totally useless. Okay. Okay. I think it's good. I think it's good. We need to test if it works. But basically now we enabled /tel. /tel will go through this code because /tel was not enabled at all in our code up to now. So the only point is that now this send system error is pretty bad. So let me change it. Actually, one day I should just remove this PS server variable completely from the code and fix all the remaining system error. Send system error. Come on. Okay. Is this, so I can just do this. And the only point is that I need to specify the actor, which in this case is the person. I think it's client in this case. And the message will be this one. And then I need to do the same here, with the difference that here I need a bit of a parsing of the parameter, because actually this one will be a two-liner and not a single line, and this one will be, is not ready yet. Yes. Yes, and this one will also be client. Okay. What? No. What? Why you don't like it? Ah, fuck, because I called it the same way. Message. Okay, so it's because it's getting message from here, so I was very confused, but actually I confused myself. Okay, so okay, fine. Then there is another send system error here. We should do exactly the same. So it should be as this, right? And this one will be is not found online. So if you're trying to send to a person that is not online, he will know. Okay. Now, actually, all those send all this send PS server send system error is super bad. We should remove them all because this one is actually a dummy function. You see, which is empty, and it should be removed one day from everywhere in the code. But I don't know if we want to do it now. Anyway, so this is okay now. So this will go through this code. If everything works well, it will find a client which has that name. Yes, he will find the client that has that name, and after he has the target, he will send him a tell. Now, I don't know if I ever checked this code, probably not. Hmm. This code is completely empty because we never ported it. This one was never ported. Unfortunately, it was never ported. Yeah, you see this? This was never ported. Yeah, just below. Okay, so I can leave that, but I can leave that. Okay. So we need to port this part of the code. This has never been done, so we need to do it. Is doing a sanity check that we are sending to the current client name, target name, message person. This one is the target, yes. What is doing? Normalize character, target name. Okay, if target. It is totally useless check. But anyway, let's leave it. But I mean, it's obviously the same if we just search for it. But okay, let's leave it. I think it's totally useless check, but it's okay. Now these two lines are the one that we need to do. So we need to send a chat message back. So let me bookmark this. We need to send the message back to the client and to the person that we are speaking to. Now the way to do it, I think, is the same as the broadcast send. So it's like sensei, right? It's like, because we did this already in the sensei. The difference is that it is a directly to one guy, right? So we don't need to do this. We need to only to send it to one. Now we may decide if to check the range, but the tell, I don't think the tell is checking the range, right? You can tell, which is a bit weird, by the way, roleplay wise. No, that you can slash tell everyone, even if they are in the death realm, like one universe away from you. But anyway, that is how it is today. So it's not really a whisper. I mean, it's a cross universe message. It's a bit more than a whisper, but okay. Let's assume that we want it this way. So I don't have to do this check. I need to broadcast the message through the phone of each player client. Yes, I think that is the way that we do it. So I think that this code is the same that I need to use in my sendTel, right? With the difference that, let me see what we are doing here. So actor is the target. So I think that this one reasonably is the target. So this one is easy to do. So this one is the target, which is a PS character, yes. This one I'm not fully sure that's the target, by the way. This one is the target. Then the message chat type will obviously be a tell, so we can reuse this one. It's okay. The message text we can reuse this one. Is okay. This one I have no idea what is it. Is the other person. I don't know what is the other person, but I think this one could be my name. I think so. I think this one must be my name. Because then when I think this one should be my name. Should be my name. Because you see that we have a who here, right? Who. This who is my name. Yes. So this one should be who. I don't know why we are having it twice. So we have it in the message. No, I think it's okay. I think we have it in the message. Yeah. Now the target get char name. I don't know why I need this. I think it's totally useless, but just for sake of completeness, I think I will put also his name. I don't know why I need it because I have it anyway client side, but let's put it. Let's put it for now. So I will have the who, I will have the text, I will have the chat type, and I don't know what is this false. False, what is it? Is the translate. Okay, bool translate. I don't know. I'm trying to write this. Okay, so this will send a message to our target. Okay, and it will know is a tail. Now the other one that we need to do is that we need to echo back, yes, to the speaker, right? So this one we can copy. I think we will have to debug it anyway because I'm not really sure of all these parameters if they are the right way or not. But this one instead of target, exactly, this one is client, client name. No, it's saying target name. Here is saying then target name. Okay, so let's keep target name. Then the next parameter is who? Well, he needs to know both. He needs to know the me and him. Message text. Chat tell self. This one I think I never seen it. But you know, if it exists, we will use it. Yes, there is. Chat tell self. Okay, so that is something that we add. And here we need to send the message to me. So to client. Okay. So one message is going to the target and one message is going to me. Now, I'm not fully sure about this who and who. I think it is probably messed up, but let's just see what happens in the two clients and we will, and we will see what happens and we will fix it because we will fix it if it's the other way around. Now, we need to see, one failed. New message, multiple definitions. Nice. Message 2. Okay, it's starting to be a bit late though. It's midnight. It's past midnight. I think I really need to go. ready to go. But I think we did good progress. I wanted just to finish the tail, but I don't think I can finish the tail by tonight. I will finish it off stream. Basically, I think we can expand our mission. Let's review the mission, by the way. This was the mission speech bubble. So, review what's in the marketplace, check if there are any free resources, analyze how other games do it, create a tellable widget with change based on text size. It is done. It is done. Ensure that the bubble is always over the head regardless of the text size. That's done. Design a graphical style for the chat bubble. Well, I mean, this is done is a very basic, but I think we need to design a better one. So the one that I have now doesn't really make me super happy, but I would say let's take it, but I think it can be improved. If any of you wants to help me to design, a better style, would be nice. Widget should be positioned on top of the character head. Widget should always be facing the camera. Yes. Check what happens with multiple overlapping widget. This is done. It works well. Define the max distance at which you see the bubble. Yeah, this is something that probably we need to do. Yeah. I think it's based on the chat range. I think that's the distance is the chat range, but we can check it. Then another thing that we are doing, and maybe we do before this, is to enable the tail, right? Which is what we are doing now. Did it compile? Yes, one succeeded. Yay! It succeeded, so we can delete, even if it's a bit late, boys. I think I need to go. I need to go. I would like to continue, but I need to go. So if I launch the editor, what I want to launch, I want to launch the editor to see, first to recompile. It will ask me to recompile, then to see the client side, but then I have to go. There's no way I'm staying more. But anyway, let's just finish the. So what I want to do here, I say enable, which is what we are doing now, right? So enable /tel command, because this one is the one that I need. So and check the bubble shows also for tel. And then the other thing I would like to do is to differentiate. I don't know. Differentiate color based on /tel or /say. Right? Differentiate text color in the bubble. If tel or say, right? So this is what we should do. And then, okay, there is this define max distance at which the bubble, right? So we are working on this at the moment. Okay, so we are on this one. Let me save it. We are working on this one. But unfortunately I need to go. It's too late. I cannot stay more, or I will not sleep enough for tomorrow work. So thanks for watching. I think it's been a good session. Thanks again to Gian for the help in the bubbles. It was very, very helpful. And I will see you next time. If you want to support the stream, you can connect to Patreon/PlaneShift and become a Patreon and get some nice perks in our Discord. But the most important thing is that you follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube so that we have more people watching us, right? Thank you. See you next time.